Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another scene set in Odessa Dark Crusade Season 2. This scene begins with the lovable Meena within the much less lovable district of Riverside.
So lovable.
Yes, that man is hanging from a jut on the overlay.
That seems fine.
Clearly, this is the most upper scale neighborhood of Odessa. It is not. It is a rundown, ramble shack mess of what could be considered a small community if it wasn't overrun by gangs, criminals, and corrupt city watch guards. Oh, how unfortunate. Meena, however, has her own business within the district, other than it just being so exciting. She has struck a deal with a local caterer in the area known as Quill. He has tasked her with a simple delivery of sorts. Obviously, probably of the illicit sort. Not only because of the location you're in, but also considering that you're meant to go to a location where nobody is. Don't leave a horse in the wagon itself. But what does Meena do? How does she prepare?
Oh, let's see. Meena has taken time with the horse in question, as she was promised, to feel out its personality, its temperament, how hot-blooded it may or may not be, how worn out. But all in all, has thoroughly worked with this horse, probably on more than one visit, just to make sure it was consistent and not just a matter of the horse feeling a particular way that day. So that she knows the tools she's working with, and Meena has also taken the time, knowing where she's to make the delivery, especially while dressed down to be unremarkable and really not worthy of notice. Has walked the trail that she might take, the roads, finding one with the least horrible holes in the worn down cobbles and dirt for her trip there, and then has extensively walked the alleys, the little byways and whatnot to find whatever route she thinks might be preferable to take while being chased by an angry mob. So she has definitely thoroughly walked the way there and thoroughly walked the surrounding potential exits, both keeping in mind the chance of riding a horse through as well as the chance of having to abandon the horse and just hardcore parkour it. So she has taken note of the surroundings, most certainly.
Okay. Roll intelligence streetwise to
Is Streetwise a thing on the Dark Age sheet?
No, it's not. Okay, roll me intelligence. God damn it. It could be a secondary ability, to be fair.
If it is, then I will probably take it.
It's not in the book, but I'll allow people to take streetwise because it really should be there. You can roll intelligence. It'll definitely be an intelligence roll.
Survival?
Yeah, intelligence survival.
It's not a pretty roll, but I can do it.
You have any survival dots?
I do have a survival dot. What have I
Okay.
got? My intelligence leaves something to be desired. And this isn't perception, so I can't abuse anything, I don't think.
Nope.
Which is a gosh darn shame.
Oh man, I didn't get to break the game anymore. I'm so salty.
I'm so salty. I
Yes.
prefer breaking the game. That's still 2 successes on 3 dice. So
Okay, 2 successes on 3 dice isn't bad. Yeah, you're able to pick out a couple of good routes to take in the event of an inevitable emergency. Um,
Have an almost certain emergency.
yeah, there's a limited amount of preparation you can do because you only have like a day or two, but um, yeah, you do have you do gain a fair understanding of the lay of the land. You know where to go, what directions to take in the event of being chased. You begin to have an understanding of where the back alleys lead, um, which roofs you can jump across, which ones are connected, which ones look a little bit unstable, um, how to stay the hell out of the way of the main people traffic.
Mm-hmm. Or where it rejoins it to get lost in the main people traffic.
Precisely.
Fabulous. Then yes, that is the preparation she has made.
Excellent. And I assume you have a veiled face.
Yes. On
Yeah.
the day of the actual deed, she will come in as worthwhile a set of clothing as she feels like she can pull off in Riverside without attracting undue attention and getting like mugged every 5 steps. But something halfway decent and definitely with a veil across her face and her hair up and out of sight. And for the sake of noting it in scene, she will be wearing under the nicer robe, will be wearing her usual like peasanty shift nonsense that she often wears in the area when she wants to go unremarked. And she will have
Excellent.
a handful of small knives, as much for throwing as for personal defense, and will definitely have the stick her mentor gave her.
Ah, yes, the stick.
Her stick.
Taken squarely from Garnet's behind.
I would never think such a thing, sir. Ever.
It was from the last venture he met. Um, but yes, you have done your preparation, and it is the night of the Great Escape. You're back in Riverside, as miserable as it has always been. It truly is. You have to make your way across a good portion of the district as you are heading towards the eastern side. Where you have been mentioned to go is a fair distance away from Charging Bull, which is kind of on the upper eastern side, not quite northeastern. It's just slightly above what you would consider just hard east. Um, where you'd be going is a bit more lower east, so fairly close, but a
Am
fair
I going to
distance
have to
away.
actually cross the river?
The river,
Mm-hmm.
you will, yes.
Fabulous.
Let me guess. Can't run across a running water.
I can, in fact.
Oh, that's better. For a second, I thought,
This was
well,
going to be a really short scene.
no, I thought you were going to take a lot of damage. uh,
I considered it, but no.
that is excellent. Okay. You make your way over to the light eastern side of Riverside. You know the alley to go to because you've been given the general area. You have to check a couple of the other alleys. Um, uh, Fortunately, there's none in the vicinity. Just a few rats running around. Alonzo would have a field day here.
No.
It's dark and damp, and it's miserable, but not particularly not particularly a lot of criminal activity going on within this area. It's just a bunch of rundown houses, really. Nothing of value to take. Maybe a good place to make a deal, but also there are plenty of good places to make a deal in Riverside. The entire place is a hive of scum.
And villainy.
Yes. And you eventually are able to come across the wagon with a tarp over it. It's neatly tucked into a fairly large alleyway. The wagon is actually quite wide. And with it, the horsey that you actually kind of hear well, it's I can't really say neighing, but you know when it pants.
Wickering.
Wickering, yeah. That's a good word for it. You can kind of hear it as you go around the corner. No one is actually there. Whoever set this kind of little horse and wagon show up for you probably left. Couldn't have left too long ago. Probably a couple of hours at most. Maybe less. The horse is tied to kind of what appears to be some scrap tinder. It's kind of half jutting out of a local kind of borderline caved-in cellar.
Lovely.
Very much looks improvised in some ways, this setup. The wagon itself is hardly glorious in any way. It's literally just kind of a plain wooden wagon. No coverings other than the tarp that kind of conceals the contents. It is a fairly thick tarp, however. It's kind of hard to see what's in there. It doesn't look like a set of chests or anything. Although you do see, apart from the chest which is actually on top of the tarp, which is the one you understand to be
the bribe money?
Yeah, the bribe money. It's a small little chest. It's like it's closer to really just a wooden box.
The fact that it's still there is awe-inspiring.
Impressive.
Will,
definitely narrows down the amount of time you think this horse and wagon has been here.
She will probably start by making sure that she has taken a moment to greet the horse and it recognizes her, and then we'll probably clamber up and taking that box, will tuck it under the driver's seat. A little more out of sight. Doesn't need anyone taking interest in that.
It is fairly unassuming, like it's literally a wooden box. Like in many ways, you wouldn't assume anything of value to be in there, really. It's only when you lift it up that you feel it's kind of surprisingly heavy, and you can kind of feel the rustling of metal.
That familiar chinky chink of coin. But do tell about the rough shapes under this tarp.
Well, it's like these. It's like a bunch of bulges. It's like fairly not small but not large. Kind of, they stick out like by a few inches. Kind of curve off a little bit, kind of like a bunch of oval-shaped bulges in a way. But it's not clean. Like it's not like as if it were to be an oval-shaped dome or chest or anything like that.
So here's the really fun question: any of that coppery tang in the air?
Let me check, actually. Riverside is not exactly a pleasant place.
It's not. It's more that, like, in the vicinity of this cart, if she's hauling corpses, there's probably going to be particular smells, and even if they're fresh, murder back in the day was pretty simply done. So if there was blood,
And you just stabby stabby.
yeah, exactly. So
Um, roll me perception alertness.
I could do that.
This is gonna be 8 though, because this is. I know maybe diff 7 because it's Riverside and there's a lot of blood here.
I mean, I don't have but so many
Like,
dice.
it's literally every other fucking street you walk down, there's either a body or a bloodied person walking around. It doesn't help that the people who do jobs here kind of end up being wounded as part of a. Well,
Yeah,
nope.
I love.
Nope. I have no idea. No coppery tang as far as you can tell.
No, nothing that really sticks out. Oh well.
No, I mean, you get the faint smell of blood, but from a different direction. Probably at Mortal, you passed down the street about 10 minutes ago, kind of just
Yeah,
wandering
well,
around. I mean, yeah, like a borderline quarter of the population here is bloodied on a daily basis, just because of the jobs they take on, or the fact that they're murderers, criminals, or victims.
yep, there you go. Nope, that's a shame. That could have been interesting. She'll go ahead and take the time to untie the lead, go ahead and clamber into the wagon, be matter of fact about it. Um, and for the sake of argument, we'll instead of untying the lead from the bridle, we'll we'll actually probably tuck it over the back of the horse's neck and kind of just loosely loop it so that it's not going to just fall as the horse is walking, but it might end up trailing if something shenanigan-y were to go about. And then we'll take up the long reins from the driver's seat. Unless, of course, this is something where she drives it by just riding the horse, which would be potentially preferable.
Yeah, no, you're able to ride the horse just fine.
Oh, and may I take note before she gets anywhere of how the quality of these here bindings between the horse and the wagon.
They exist
They do. Is
and
it the
they
kind of
function.
is
Is
it
about the level of quality.
That's good. That means that in a pinch, she will take a moment to examine exactly what type are there, so that in a pinch, um, potentially almost immediately, will be necessary. See if she can just slash them loose at one particular point.
They're not exactly quality bindings. In fact, nothing regarding this little setup indicates quality of any degree. The only thing that indicates quality is the thing holding the money, and that's still a plain, unassuming wooden box with, just
Fabulous.
nicely locked. You got the key.
Fabulous. Then yeah, I suppose after taking proper assessment of everything she's working with, she will go ahead and hop up and probably go ahead and just ride the horse to lead this wagon. She likes the control that way better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll probably just take her path at an unassuming lazy plod because it is the best way to not attract attention.
It is a great way to not attract attention. You begin riding out. This area is pretty fucking desolate. You're able to kind of join up with a bit more foot traffic um, later down a couple of roads. It takes you a couple of blocks. It only takes you a couple of minutes, but it's when you start kind of heading down towards the river where traffic begins to pick up again. As you're uh, heading towards Prophet's Quarter. Of course, you're not actually meant to enter the Prophet's Quarter.
Yep. Plod, plod, plod.
Doesn't take you too long to reach your destination. Probably maybe 30-40 minutes most. Even that's a bit long. you definitely begin to see a bit more activity happen as you begin to approach the Prophet's Quarter. Prophet's Quarter is known to be a much cleaner area than Riverside. There's an actual guard presence.
Madness.
Indeed.
Am I getting close enough to this guard presence that I need to take note of what all they're wearing weaponry wise?
It is a You're not actually in the Prophet's Quarter, so there still aren't many guards.
Okay.
But Riverside is known for being an absolute mess. Something that the guards of the Prophet's Quarter consider quite seriously. They don't like people from Riverside entering their area. They take pains to prevent people from Riverside just entering their district willy-nilly.
Of course.
There's a lot of kind of eerie stares, a lot of suspicion, untrusting gazes cast upon anyone who really comes through that area unless they're already known and trusted. Unfortunately, you are very new to the area.
Yep, that's fine.
And yeah, they seem to not really give you the benefit of the doubt per se. A lot of people kind of, at least the people who see kind of heading towards like the people who kind of at this sort of cross-section point definitely look upon you as if you are untrustworthy, particularly the people who are residents of the area.
That is just fine. My primary concern is, are any of the guard folk, if they are within a certain range, holding, like, carrying or wearing crossbows?
Still not many guards still on Riverside, but it's definitely, the presence is beginning to pick up, and yeah, they kind of tend to come in like two-man, like almost like 2-3-man teams, and there's always one with a crossbow or a range or a short bow of sorts.
Yep. Okay. Just take a note of things that might be immediate threats.
Most of them seem to have their hand at their kind of melee weapon, at their swords, really, at their sword sheaths. But yeah, there are definitely a couple guards nearby with access to ranged weaponry.
Okay.
Most of them are giving you a bit of stink eye. Others are kind of giving other people stink eye. There's kind of they seem to be pretty strict and populous as well. Like, they keep people on the fucking roads.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keep on moving sort of
appropriate
attitude, yeah. But you're getting very close to destination at this point. In fact, you're basically there. It's really just a road down. You're able to take a short detour down the road you need to go down. Again, a fairly wide road, has people activity on it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks less of a guard presence than down this road, though. A couple of the guards kind of follow you down the road just to make sure you're not doing anything iffy.
Nope.
You know, just kind of standard patrol stuff. They seem to have a bit of freedom of movement over this sort of cross-section, basically. This kind of border area between the two districts. It's not really a strict patrol route they seem to have. They seem to just follow anyone and anything that looks suspicious.
Yep, she is not going to spare them more than a glance when they're in front of her type thing, but isn't going to make undue effort to study them per se. Just the glance. If they have a ranged weapon, it's noted, but yeah, she's just going to keep on her merry way. She doesn't need anyone paying her extra attention. If they follow her, it will go unremarked.
You end up running into, as you kind of go down the road, you head to your destination. You see the man you're meant to meet. Fairly unassuming gentleman. You actually don't really see him until you basically end up kind of parallel to him. Because he kind of just has kind of just has his back leaning up against the wall, just in one of the alleys of this road.
Oh, it's that guy.
Hello. I see you have something for me.
Oh, I do. And she'll go ahead and hop down, retrieve the box, and we'll well, trying to have the horse near enough that she can go ahead and promptly jump on because she knows shit's about to go down. We'll go ahead and withdraw the payment and hand it over.
Oh, you are most kind. Thank you ever so much. You look a little nervous. Calm down. Everything is going to be fine.
There's the audible like, whew, like.
Also, make sure to cut those bindings.
Tiny nut, almost imperceptible nut, and she will, in fact, if he's giving her that second, will go ahead and come over like she's just patting the horse, and yeah, the knife comes out, and she's immediately going to cut through the bindings, and we'll just ever so casually start to mount again if he doesn't need her to be on level for this.
Oh yeah, the wagon, because you're on like this kind of slightest incline, causes the wagon to tip back as people are kind of walking by, and this man just seems to walk out of the alley just a few seconds after you do. And yeah, the wagon kind of just tips back, and the items in the wagon just kind of end up sliding off, revealing what you rightfully suspect to be a bunch of corpses. Naturally, spooking the fuck out of the local civilians walking down the road, who are all just kind of gasp and kind of just in kind of a circular formation, just kind of back the fuck away as this man in kind of almost comical fashion just kind of starts almost screaming as he's going, ah!
You said I was.
Body!
You said I was able to exit the alley previous to all the screaming?
Yeah, you're able to get on the horse.
Okay, so I'm still on the horse, but I'm in the alley. I want to make sure I know exactly where I am.
Just killed these men! Run!
It is time for her to make.
And he will kind of trip over as he tries to get away from you. I'm actually gonna roll to see how good he is at this. Because if people don't actually believe him, it'll be quite amusing.
That falls on him. I did my job. Fuck that guy.
What? How can you say that? I mean, he's pretty good at this. Okay, yeah, he's fairly convincing. He kind of trips over his like robes, trying to go. He's clearly of the merchant class, and he's kind of hidden his payment underneath his robes.
I imagine so.
And he's just saying, "Get away from her! Get away from her! Gods, help!"
Time to book it. And yeah, as soon as the first cry goes up, she'll have about faced and be bearing down this alley. It's time to get the fuck out.
She's smuggling the souls of his victims. Get her!
With a broad fucking smile on her face.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I actually wouldn't say oh my god, but say the Islamic equivalent. Oh, I haven't helped. Oh, guards, please. He actually ends up kind of going up to one, running up to one of the guards. As they kind of obviously start fucking chasing after you. This gets a lot of attention. Um, yeah, couple guards, actually two on horseback around the corner. Not exactly healthy for the people in the way. The
Sucks to be
two
them.
horses just kind of round the corner, and yeah, it's actually kind of hard for these two horsemen to fit in the same road. You could fit maybe one more, like if they were just kind of in line with each other, and the wagon doesn't help. But yeah, they kind of begin chasing after you. There's also a few foot soldiers, but it appears this man has kind of taken possession of one of them.
Clinging to him like, oh God, save me!
Oh god! You want to stop her? He's just looking for him. Oh my god! Heaven! Kind of all out of breath. And yeah, please roll your dex ride, madam.
Oh, ever so happily.
I'm gonna roll it for the two guys chasing you, and then some people are gonna shoot you. They're gonna shoot you real good. Yeah, the two guards which are tailing you, one of them's been taken over by this guy, but the other one is actually able to get out his bow and take a shot at you.
And I am stupid and have not specified my dex specialty, so that is just 4 successes.
No attribute specialties in this game, so it's fine.
Oh, well, that makes it easier. Then, yeah, 4 successes.
Nice!
She takes off like a shot.
I mean, that guy just doesn't fucking go anywhere. His horse kind of butts up at all of the kind
Probably
of...
because she zips right past and very purposefully will do it close enough to spook the horse.
I mean, you zip off, but all of the kind of people running around and the screaming kind of spooks the horse and it forces him to rein it in. The other one is able to get off and chase after you, but you're well ahead. Like you literally, that horse just fucking bolts, and he's well behind you, able to round a corner before he's even able to get moving. The other guy I have will take a shot at you. Oh no, he has armor, so he is lower on dice.
For what it's worth, she is going to get low on this horse.
Okay, so someone, the guard who doesn't have a panicking merchant slavering all over him, will take a shot at you and hit you. Are you wearing any armor? Because I believe short bows have armor piercing.
I don't believe so.
Okay. That's probably better for you. I mean, it's not any different because you're not wearing armor. Just real quick.
Is there any benefit to staying low on the horse, by the way, as opposed to just riding normally?
Not really, to be honest.
Okay. Well, then fuck it.
It doesn't give you additional cover unless you basically try and use the horse as cover. You know, you kind of lean off of one side of the horse. So basically,
I'm going straight
your
ahead, so there's no real getting the horse between me and him.
Then they'd be at +2 difficulty to hit you, but you'd need to make a dex riding roll to maintain control of the horse while you're doing that. They're just going to roll 2d10 because it's only a short bow. Yeah, you won't actually be able to shoot you past this point. Yeah, he doesn't do any damage to you. Yeah,
hits the robes.
Yeah, he kind of catches the arrow. He kind of pulls it back real quick. It's kind of hard to hit you because you're a moving target. But as you round the corner, obviously it forces you to as you turn, it kind of gives him a moment, like that fraction of a second he needs to actually get a shot off. He does actually hit you somehow, but it just kind of scuffs and pierces your dress, but it doesn't actually stick to you, and it kind of ends up falling off.
Fabulous. Room.
Yeah, and you kind of hear yelling, saying, "Murderer, criminal, smuggler, get her!" Panic begins to spread throughout the street at a rate probably faster than you're riding.
Perfect. They'll get out of my fucking way. Some of them,
Roll
anyways.
dexterity ride, because yes, there are people in your way.
I will
Not all of
roll
them are able to
again.
get out of the way in time. Some people trip, others take up arms, some are just obstinate assholes, some are drunk.
Oh, Riverside. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Guard presence slows down significantly here. Oh yeah, you're able to make your way through them just fine. I'm just going to roll for the guy who's chasing after you. You'll need a total of 5 successes to get away from him completely. Accumulated. So you've already got 3 on him.
Mm-hmm.
He gets 2 successes. So just roll your dex ride again. See how much speed you're able to pick up. Because this is your last ride roll is avoiding everybody else. Okay, so he actually starts catching up to you.
All right.
Interesting.
A little bit.
We'll make this a contested set of rolls, an extended roll, extended contested roll. So I will roll again, and if he's able to reduce your accumulated successes to 0, he catches up to you and will be able to make an attack on you.
Fabulous.
If you get 5 accumulated successes against him, you will get away from him completely.
All right.
Okay, you only got 1 success that time. Okay, so you start gaining away from him again. You got 3 successes on him right now.
And this will be ducking through alleys, all sorts of shenanigans as she gets further and further away.
It doesn't help that the guard presence becomes quickly non-existent and this guy's well on his own in enemy territory. It's also harder to ride here, and obviously since the guys that really ride through here, they're not really used to the turf. It's kind of there's a lot of rot here, there's a lot of mud, it's like just rubbish.
Yeah. She will be pointedly doing obnoxious things, like leaping what is essentially just rubble, but at least she knows how far the rubble goes and that she can get over it.
You know this area, he doesn't, which is putting him at a disadvantage. And you're able to go through alleys, which are just confusing him even more. Like he's beginning to lose track of where he is. He does get 3 successes on that roll, though. Okay.
Do I need to roll to try to recover it as I fucking get dislodged, I assume?
Yeah, so you start doing the obnoxious things. So you're getting away from him, and you realize you're getting away from him. Like, you've been ahead of this guy since the very start. He hasn't been anywhere near you. It's kind of like the hare outrunning the tortoise. Like, you're so far ahead of this guy. And it gets to a point where you just start trotting along, you start doing tricks, jumping over the
you're damn tootin' she does.
Street, kind of leaping over the little cobbled walls, and then the horse's leg hits the wall, causing it to trip and for it to get spooked. And the horse tumbles, and you fall off your horse.
Here's a question for you.
Quickly catching up to you now.
May I ask a question? First off, if I have left over a cobbled wall, is there a chance that he wouldn't have seen this go down? I'm also going to be...
You're 3 successes ahead of him, so he wouldn't see this go down, but he's going to round the corner in like 2 seconds.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out, smack the shit out of the horse to make sure... Actually, you said it's spooked and takes off, right?
I mean, it's getting up. Like, it literally trips with you. Like, it probably damaged his leg.
Yep. She is going to reach out, slap the shit out of that horse. She is going to spend the obfuscate to mask the sound of her doing it. Okay. And basically her personal noises. And then she is going to quickly get the fuck out of sight. Like, duck down the closest alley to the one she's in, or whatever little path she's in.
Okay.
Like, get around the building if she can, type thing.
Okay. trying to think of what the difficulty for this role would be for him, because at one point you are masking your sound. I'll say you can choose one of these things, because he's literally rounding the corner in like 2 seconds. You're not going to be able to do all of these things at once.
So what I think I will do, as the horse is scrambling up, can I shuck off the robe and tuck it into one of the bands that was previously holding it to the wagon? Like, tuck it into the band around its chest.
You're trying to tuck what into the horse's chest?
Basically whip off the top layer of robe that she's been wearing. While the horse is struggling up, quickly, like, roughly tuck it under the band. It probably won't hold long, but it might be enough to kind of confuse him.
Okay.
And then basically slap the horse, the silent slap, and then I guess instead of getting around the building, because that would take too long, immediately slam her back against the wall that she just tumbled over.
Okay.
So that he'll still see the horse and won't see her as he's going over, hopefully.
So you're going to tie something to the horse, slap it, and then hide under the wall. Okay, it's like 3 seconds worth of action. So you're gonna have to narrow it down. You can like hide, or you can do a thing with the horse. You can't do both because it's literally this is happening second by second.
Yeah, fair. I was just hoping to take advantage of the distance.
Hey, botched. Sorry.
Yeah, it happens.
Horsey no want fun anymore. Horsey is sad.
Horsey is sad. Trying to think of which is more reasonable, very quick action.
You can trigger your obfuscate reflexively. Also, you can definitely do that. That doesn't take like any amount of time. That just happens.
Yeah, I'm just like sending the horse off as a distraction doesn't work if I'm not like either slamming my back to that wall that I just tumbled over, or somehow out of immediate vision. So let's face it, the horse is spooked and probably going to take off on its own.
Yeah, I mean, it is still getting up, so in theory you could get back on it, but it's like, yeah, it's not in the best shape. Like you can tell that. Like
the horse is injured.
Yeah, when an animal trips running at that level of momentum, it's
bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess the obfuscate is getting triggered either way. I think I will opt for getting the fuck out of sight.
Okay.
And hopefully the horse will get up and take off on its own. And I can only trigger one or the other. Damn it. Let me scroll back and look at my fucking demontation. Yeah.
All right. In which case, then, you're gonna hide. You're able to trigger obfuscate. Just mask the sound of what happened. It should be noted when he enters that zone of silence, he won't be able to hear anything either.
She is not doing she's not doing the large zone, and even when you're in the zone you can hear things external. But she's not doing a large zone. She's literally only masking her immediate sounds. She's not masking an area, she's not masking the horse. Just like her personal footfalls and shit.
Yeah, you can change the radius, so yeah, you can just make it yourself, basically.
Yeah. She has reeled it in. It is
Fair
just
her. In which case, yeah, make me a quick dex stealth roll, and your opponent will be at a higher difficulty because you're silent. The horse isn't. But it will make things a bit harder for him.
All right, that is that many dice. That is 3 successes.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't see you. So yeah, he ran. You hear the horse around the corner. You don't see him because you're behind the wall. But you definitely hear him galloping. And then you kind of see him quickly stop his horse. Kind of wickers and neighs a little bit. Sounded like it was a bit sharp.
Yep. I am going to, with the office gate up, gonna just keep on moving. And while he is trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, I am going to try to get far enough to make sure I'm out of sight and then shuck the top layer of robes. Just abandon them.
Okay. Make me another deck stealth roll. Because he gets off his horse at this point and he starts looking around. He doesn't see you yet, and it gives you an opportunity to get away. But
Yep.
you don't have a lot of cover, so you will need to make a quick roll just to see if you can get out of the way soon enough.
That is only one.
Uh-oh.
Fucking ones!
You are at a point in Riverside where there are alleyways that horses can't follow through at this point. Like, they're narrow enough that a person would have to run through them.
Yep.
Okay, that's a draw, so defender wins. You win. So he doesn't see you. He doesn't see you, but you can carry on. Come on, come on. Where are you? Come on.
You gotta be fucking joking.
Just come out.
She is
Has his sword out.
Yeah, she's got the office gate up, so he's not gonna hear which way she's running, and vroom! Shucking the robes as she goes. They will be like fluttering down by the time she gets around the next corner. Upside of this time period, it's really easy to shuck loose robes.
Yeah, and he's still, you kind of see him still kind of looking around, narrowed eyes, sword out, kind of crouched down a little bit in combat position, like he's just, he's like, it's like he's waiting to be stabbed in the back.
What this means is that he's moving very slowly towards where I was, and I'm moving very, very quickly away.
He's slowly making his way towards your horse, and then, the horse is kind of, the poor horse is just like fucked up, and he's trying to get it to calm down a little bit. When he realizes, oh, he kind of looks around, but then puts a hand on the horse, and then you don't see anything because you're around the corner.
Oh yeah, full sprint when she's around the
corner.
corner.
Robes. I will actually have him roll something at a high difficulty 10 to see if he spots that, because that would be unimaginably hard for him to spot. But it is possible because it is within his eyesight. No, he doesn't see anything.
Nope. She will go full sprint, shuck the robes around the next corner. The first one she can hit to complete breaking line of sight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he doesn't see anything. He tried his best, but he's not catching this criminal today. He does at least retrieve a horse. Maybe he can find out who sold this horse or something.
Doubt it.
It honestly is doubtful, but it's his only lead. But yeah, you're able to shuck your robes, and suddenly you're just another peasant of Riverside, another commoner, another victim of this hateful place.
Yep, she'll continue the sprint around the second corner. By the time she hits the third one, she's just going to take it to a casual walk, not out of breath at all, and just meander Riverside like she do.
Vampires don't breathe.
Exactly. Well, she fakes it sometimes.
You're able to make your way back. Deeper into Riverside. You do actually walk past a couple of guards. Appears the little bit of roughhousing you did. Dramatics caused a bit of tension, which caused some guards to actually pay attention to what's happening in their district.
Actually, let me.
All the noise. A guard actually doing his job in the area. People are actually looking around. They don't seem to notice you in any way, though. You just look like another face. And a lot of people here just avoid the guards, either because they're criminals or because the guards are as bad as the criminals.
Yup. Don't mind me.
No, they don't for the most part. Most of them are looking around for someone else. Like, I mean, they don't really know who they're looking for, really. They just know that something happened and a woman was involved.
Hopefully a veiled woman in much nicer robes. No, she just
All
kind
they
of
know is a
plods
masked
along.
woman. There are several masked women, however, and quite a lot.
Yep, the veil went with the rest of it. It's poof.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're all looking around. They pull over a couple of other women who have veils over their faces. They don't seem to harass you in any way.
nope, she pays them absolutely no mind when they pay her no mind, and yeah, just trods along like she does every night through
Mm.
Riverside.
Things begin to become a bit more normal as you head towards the further end of Riverside, back towards the Upper East. You're getting quite far away from the action, and most guards are either not doing their jobs, non-existent, or just shaking people down. Apart from one, who actually seems to have the presence of mind to walk up to you, and he just says, "Madam, we've been looking for a veiled woman of any area. Caused disturbance near the Prophet's Court. You wouldn't have been able to see anyone matching that description, would you?"
And sorry, what was the description again?
Literally a veiled woman causing ruckus near the Prophet's Quarter. Was riding a horse. Apparently, the horse wounded itself. You wouldn't know anyone riding a wounded horse, would you? Came from the south side or Riverside. You wouldn't know anyone fitting that, coming from that area fitting that description, would you?
And considering this is a Riverside guard, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's actually doing his fucking job.
she will actually make a point of
This is a
as
blue
he
moon guy.
yeah as he approaches, considering it's Riverside, will actually kind of flinch.
Roll me that charisma subterfuge. Now, roll me appearance subterfuge.
Aw,
Because you're trying to look scared.
well, damn! If I knew that was more of a thing, I would have had a higher appearance. But
I'm trying to make it a rolled stat.
madness, sir, fucking madness.
Madness. Yes. That's not how you roll dice.
Oh Jesus! I was like, why suspense?
Ah!
It's a fail.
It's just a fail. Just a fail.
So you can tell it's a calculated flinch, at least. I imagine.
You can tell he notices this because he almost cranes his head at you.
Though, I imagine he only takes more interest because she failed that. And,
Yeah, madam.
but she will hastily shake her head and, no, no. And, would you like charisma subterfuge on that one?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck my life.
To resist you. He's a decent human being, so he gets more than just 3 or 4 die. Gets the extra one. He fails. You just need to not botch.
I did
Hey,
not botch.
Hey,
Maybe she's just weird and jumpy.
maybe, I mean, true. Plenty of people suffer from undiagnosed diseases within the Dark Ages. She must be suffering some sort of spiritual malady. We call it the root of sin here in Canine Society. But yeah, the guard just kind of looks at you and kind of says, "Okay, sorry to bother you. Please be on your way. Don't want to keep you."
And she will make the first few steps a little hasty, and then if he doesn't take any steps after her, will smooth out to her usual gait
Hmm.
as she puts a little distance between herself and the guard, as if nervous.
Yeah, he has another friend who's just kind of just has his back up against the wall, just kind of giving everyone the kind of suspicious gaze, kind of looking at his friend as if like, why are you even fucking bothering, mate? Which, to be true, but sorry, to be fair, is yeah, it's highly unlikely he's going to find the person at this point. I mean, no way, most likely the criminal hasn't even passed through here. They certainly don't know what she looks like. She was masked after all.
Yes.
But you can kind of hear him as you walk away. Sir, sorry to bother you. And kind of fades off as you walk away. Heading back towards the charging bull in your peasant gown.
Yes, my lovely drab bullshit.
And you're able to make your way back. No problem at all. You're able to come on in, and you see another fist fight going on. It's like the dwarf from before absolutely smashed the big guy because he seems to be the local champion. He seems to be taking on a more wiry gentleman this time. Welcome to the charging ball, where there are fistfights every day.
Yep.
Yep, it's a raucous mess of drink, fighting, and generally inappropriate flirtations. But Meena is well aware of this already.
Yep.
Broken furniture does not exist, however, because, well, the security here is quite uptight about those sorts of things. You can fight, but you don't get to use the stalls as improvised weaponry.
Well, damn it.
This is my shit. You actually hear one of the mercenaries saying that.
Yep. I'm gonna go where I did last time.
Oh yeah, they know who you
Smile
are
at that
this
guy on
time.
the stairs. By the time she gets there, she is confident she has gotten away with her bullshit, and oh boy, how her eyes glitter and how that grin is just plastered on her face.
When you approach the stairs, if you kind of, and you know him, the man who was guarding the stairs before, he takes out his sword and says, "You,
Me?
under arrest."
That's not very nice.
Fuck, you're cold. Shit.
Hey, I've got bunch of health. Get the fuck out of here.
He'll sheath his sword and actually kind of crack a smile, looking satisfied at your complete lack of fucks given. And
She said that's not very nice, still with that very broad, very toothy smile.
and we'll just step aside and kind of give you a lovely, lovely pseudo bow. This time,
Oh,
if you
hippo.
have some semblance of respect from him for being some sort of hard motherfucker.
Oh,
He just
shoot.
held you at sword point and he didn't even flinch. He's quite impressed.
Yep. He gets the little, like, oh, yes, little thing. Playfully, of course. Not in any way properly haughty. And she will ascend the stairs.
I'll tell him if she's coming up. And yeah, one of the guards will kind of open the door for you and say, she is here, blah, 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 blah. Same deal as before. And door will be opened for you. Royalty.
Oh, how nice.
Well, peasant royalty.
Hey, that's something. Ah, she's just ever so a Twitter. Yep, up she goes.
And you see, once again, the man you know as Quill, just sitting at a fireside.
Still a dick for sitting by a fire. But yeah, she'll swan over.
Ah, I see you did not bring alongside your pet this time.
No, no. I don't think you would have understood the complexity of the game I was just playing.
Oh, he just needs enough treats. He'll get it eventually.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Hey, clever doggy.
Push it back. And, might I ask if you were successful in your task?
Oh, absolutely.
Spectacular. He pats you on the head.
You know what? Fuck it. She'll take it. With that just, oh, did I do good smile?
You
Completely
did
fabricated,
good.
of
He's
course.
patting you on the head. So much praise. Give me a
Yep.
doggy biscuit.
It's definitely fabricated, but it's the, oh, I did so good.
Did you enjoy my friend's dramatics?
I did. He was fun.
Omar is such an energetic sort.
He is.
I think you'll like him.
I think you're right.
But as I'm sure you noticed, the cargo you were carrying was quite sensitive indeed. And quite dead.
It's just that little, like, yeah, you ain't wrong. Little nod.
I apologize for stating prior that I did not want you to look uh, upon your cargo. Did not want to offend your sensibilities.
Oh god, the smile just grows. It just blossoms across her face.
But I'm glad to see you enjoyed yourself.
Absolutely. Should probably switch back to that winning smile.
And I can't help but reward such a daring and diligent young woman. Rikes. Please, take the rest of your reward. You have earned it. And he takes his foot off his footstool, which actually this time is actually a rather significantly large chest, and just kind of kicks it towards you.
Oh, really?
Jingle jangles.
Oh, goodness. So generous.
I think you'll find this more than covers the expenses for your activities. Hopefully, it will cover the rest of them.
You're too kind.
Kind of puts both his hands on his chest as if to say, ah. You flatter me, my dear. But this is only the beginning. As I'm sure you noticed, You seem to rattle the cage that the city guards like to dwell in near the Prophet's Quarter.
And they were all aflutter.
So taken they were with your beauty and magnificence, no doubt.
Oh, she even does the little, like, oh, fans herself with a hand.
But I hear women make the best soldiers. Because men have a very nasty habit of underestimating.
I wouldn't say you were wrong.
Tell me, have you ever killed a man before? You have.
Oh, she absolutely has. Remember how that smile just blossomed across her face the first time? It does it again. Just fit to
Ah,
split her features. And well, it's obviously a reply on its own. She just with that just oh, I'm guilty smile just got, ever so innocently. So not innocently cuz me?
don't feel too guilty. We deserve it. Wink. In fact, there is one gentleman in particular who absolutely deserves it.
Is there? Do tell.
Very nasty gentleman. So, he manages to make this order look bland. Ruthless gentleman. But you'll never see a smile on his face. Sort of cold, calculating type. I'm sure you've seen them before.
No, doesn't sound like much fun.
How would you like to put a smile on that man's face?
She brightens again. In light of how generous you are for a job well done, I don't see the harm. It sounds like a fun game. Tell me more about this man.
He's called Raheem. Used to be a farmhand before getting mixed up with the wrong crowd.
Oh, what a shame.
Realized he could do a little bit more than just moving around dirt and vegetables. Took an interest in the greater scheme of things. Started putting people in cages.
Really?
It's a shame that they never do anything very interesting with them. Nevertheless. He's got himself something of a racket going for out of that portion of the city. Diversified his business plans recently. Wants to get into war profiteering. I said he should have just joined the last crusade.
Is he kind?
But,
Is he kind?
oh, of course. He's not nearly so capable as to be one of us.
Oh, she's still smiling up a storm. She's liking the answers.
Too blunt, too... just the wrong amount of daring. You see, he's a lot like you, in a way. But you have the perfect balance, and you know when to be off balance.
Oh, she likes that.
He
She
is,
likes that a lot.
he's a man who is perpetually falling over, as it were. He's just managed to fall his way into a bit of fortune. That's how most of his former associates gain the position that he has now.
She'll be listening with a finger like tucked up over her lips, rolling it around thoughtfully.
See, he's a man who thinks he can do business without actually knowing what business is. The man can barely do basic arithmetic, let alone run his own marketplace. What a silly man.
Are you looking to have someone else take his place then? Or just...
Well, it would be boring.
Oh, he can't be boring.
What do you think happens when someone has something, a position of power, and then they lose it and there's no one else left to take it? What do you think happens? What do you think people who are looking in on this little show, this little parade, begin to think? What do you think they do?
Oh, I'm still learning the basics of business. I imagine they either swoop in to fill the spot, or they start looking at each other and wondering.
You're half correct. The other half is, I believe it's a recent term. I believe it's an accurate one. They go what's called batshit insane.
She likes that too, and it shows.
As you said, they like to swoop in. But there's a lot of little starlings all swooping in. They end up bumping into each other. A lot of them don't even intend to bump into each other, they just do, and then they're both on the ground. And then they get up, start blaming each other for shit, and then just start pecking each other away.
How fun.
It's like an impromptu cockfight. But between starlings. Which is nothing else a rare sight.
That sounds like it could be fun. And who is this man?
No, I told you who Raheem is. He's a mess. He's a clown without the face paint. A fool without laughter.
Oh.
Poor man deserves to be put out of his misery, if you ask me.
It does sound tragic. So if I were to show up after something tragic happened and come smiling to you, you would be pleased and be in another generous mood.
I would be in a most generous mood. The gentleman himself is going to be attending, well, a small carnival show.
Really?
Now, it has recently come to my attention that they do not have a rider to put on a show for them.
Imagine.
You see, Raheem is a very big fan of the local carnival. They come and go through from time to time. Caravanners, travellers, foreigners. This last one's has been in town for a few months now. Looks like they're going to be staying much longer. Now,
Around here?
yes.
What a delicious happenstance.
Oh yes, they have the most beautiful singing triplets. I educate you not. They have them. They're beautiful. Their voices are the stuff of legend. But do be careful. You'll find a surprising amount of these traveling groups often have well, people like us walking among them, for lack of a better term. Usually Ravnos. Ravnos love to travel. Seems like they have the blood of Wanderlust in them. Do be careful.
Of course.
But I'll do my utmost to secure you a one-time, unforgettable performance with them. You see, Raheem loves to visit the actors after the show is over. I'm
Oh
sure he'll be
my.
quite taken with you.
Scandalous. She kind of tilts her head thoughtfully. You said he was.
Oh, sorry.
You said he was once a farmhand.
That was many years ago.
And has he let his wealth go to his gut?
Most of them do.
A little pout of a frown. What a shame.
What a shame.
It could have been fun. Oh well. I suppose
said
I'll
most
just
of them
have
do.
to separate. Really?
That's the smile I wanted to see. He will poke you on the nose.
Oh yeah, she perks right back up. Mostly.
He often sits, well, where a king would, as it were. Likes playing at royalty, at aristocracy. Hasn't gone to his gut, it's gone to his fucking head.
That sounds even more fun.
Oh, yes. Loves sitting like You'll see that often with these carnivals. They have the wooden
The boxes.
no OC. There's a name like the stands, the audience seating area. What's it called?
Bleachers? I don't know.
Bleachers. That's it.
The
Is that even a
stands.
name? The stands. I'm just gonna call it the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Stands. Yes, there is. Have several boxes.
And I'm sure he has only the best.
Careful. You might find yourself unwrapping an unusual present.
It's a slight tilt ahead there. If
You
only
don't
for his
want to.
choice of words.
You don't want to open up the wrong box now, do you?
No.
Besides, he'll visit you after the show. But I'll leave it to your discretion. If you want to bring the show to a head early, oh, I'm sure it'll be most exciting. You're going to have a lot of fans if you do. But again, if you do it after the performance, a more nuanced showing, perhaps, but no less magnificent. Have fun.
I always have fun. And she'll have been considering this box. Meanwhile, because, it's nice to get a big reward, but getting the big reward home through Riverside is something to be considered.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
I'm gonna roll D10.
What did that button do?
Fine. See if you get home safely with that big fucking chest.
I was like, is this so much shit that I can't possibly transfer it to bags and just like silence it walking home with it under my tunic? Or
Depends how many
fuck,
bags do you have.
she'd have to fucking get some probably.
Yep.
But no, if she can well, hot damn, she will just at the very least silence the box and probably I don't
Oh,
know.
by the way, I'll be there to see the performance. Enjoy
Oh,
yourself.
oh well,
Don't
then
let
I
me down
must put
now.
on a good show.
I'm sure it'll only be the best.
And she will treat him to a well half sincere, which is pretty good for her, honestly. Curtsy, like, oh well, type. Only the best. Well, in that case, I think I'll be getting home.
Stay safe.
The eyes glitter. Of course.
The performance will occur 3 days from now.
And
Be sure to practice your writing. Can you
am I to
get up
meet
from your seat?
these men before this group? Or simply show up at the appointed time?
We'll be seeing them, but you will not be talking to them. Not until the appointed time.
And am I
But,
riding one of their horses or my own?
oh, I'm sure no horse they have could compare to yours.
Hmm.
Is that a doubt I sense in you? Would be a
There's a
first.
thoughtful head tilt. Just means I get to play one game before I play this game.
Ah, then I'm sure to have many for you. I would
Okay.
love to stay and chat longer. You are most delightful company. Alas, duty tears me away from you, sweetheart. He even like with his hand kind of has a kind of gripping motion with it and then just kind of brings it towards them as if it's tearing something towards him and looks so sad.
Oh, yes, she will take up a mournful expression immediately. She loves that he plays back. It makes it better.
Hmm.
But yeah. Until next time, we're so fortunate as to be in each other's company then.
Until next time, dearest.
Oh. And yeah, I suppose they part ways, and she is now left with a trunk.
Yeah, he'll walk out of the building and say, and as he leaves, he'll whisper to the guards, like, kick her and her awards out of here. And it takes them about a minute for the guards to come up. Do you take the chest before then?
Oh, hell yes.
What's your strength level?
Um, Probably not enough. She's
What's your
only
strength
strength
level?
2.
Okay, you may need to spend a point of blood, or you're going to be dragging this thing.
Oh god. Jesus, that is a quite generous payment. Fuck. Here's a question. Is anyone there? Does any of the guards that she's seen before, any of them off duty?
Um, there are a couple, yeah.
Well, considering that she has ample funds, what are the chances that one of them would like to help the nice lady carry her things home in
Um,
exchange for a portion?
they'd have
Exchange for a
obliged.
generous payment for their time.
Oh, and these fine gentlemen are more than happy to help out a lady in distress. Oh yes.
Just one. Just one.
Okay, the one guy, the
She's
one
not that
guy is more
crazy.
than happy.
If he makes mistakes, he makes mistakes, but
He is very helpful. He is the most helpful, and you are safe back home with a fuck ton of money.
oh, she won't let him go all the way home. She'll
Okay,
spend the blood for the last bit, but
okay, you're hungry now. Uh-oh.
that's fine. I can fix that.
You can eat people later.
Exactly. I will make a hunting roll after the
Hmm.
scene.
Yep. And I think there we can end the scene as Meena hauls a delightfully large chest full of monies uh, back to her home, hopefully away from Garnet, if she's smart. Probably not. God damn
She's
it.
smart.
Garnet has the money.
No, mine.
Thank you for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We will see you next time. Bye bye.